I hear business owners talk about the right time to hire a VA, like it's a fine art of knowing when you should expand your team. Like there's this golden moment in time that if you miss it, you've made a mistake. But the truth is, there is no right time. We work with hundreds of clients and not a single one started with their VA in the exact same position as another. There's no golden financial position, number of hours you're working, number of clients you have on board, or number of hairs on your head that you've lost that will tell you for sure now is the right time to hire a VA. Now, I know as you're listening to this, you probably want to jump through your computer and grab me. But Carly, that's no help to me. If there's never a right time, when do I do it? So, spoiler alert, if you're wondering when the right time is to hire a VA, it's a pretty good sign you should already have a VA. Carly, just tell me. All right. For those of you who still want more, let me say this. If you hit any of the following points that I'm about to describe, you've passed the point of a VA being a nice to have and it's now a must have for you. Or you're just holding yourself back from growing. So these are the trigger points that I would suggest that now is already past the point where you should be hiring a VA. 1, you're working 40 hours per week in the business. If you're spending 40 hours per week in actually implementing things in the business, in the day-to-day, it's time to start building out your team and hiring a VA. You should be focusing on the high level and on the business, growing the business rather than being stuck in the day-to-day. The other factor is if you have things you want to do that you can't because of time. We all look at things like we have these big to-do lists and it's like, that's going to be a next year kind of thing. But if you've got things like that, it means that you should be hiring a VA. Outsource the stuff that you're already focusing on now and get a VA so that you can focus on those things that you want to achieve that are more high level. And the third element is if you spend more time on low level activities than high level activities. Going to that point of working in the business versus on the business, if a lot of your day, and if you think you're spending 40 hours per week in the business, if you're spending 20 or more of that on low level tasks, admin, emailing clients, processing payments, any of those things, you're again beyond that point where now is the time that you should have already a VA. And the other one is if you're inconsistent with social media marketing or lead generation activities. That's a really important thing, especially if you're a coach or consultant. It's really important for you to be doing to have consistent activity, get consistent results. So if you're being inconsistent, you really should have a virtual assistant. And again, you're beyond that point where it's no longer a nice to have, it's now a need. So if you hit any of those points at all, it's time to evaluate whether you are already where you want to be in business or if you want more. Because if you've hit any of those points that I've just said, but you're happy where you're at, you don't want to grow the business anymore, everything's fine, you're happy to just kind of plateau, that's all good. But if you want to grow the business, if you want more, then I think you know the next step.